Today's lesson is Lesson 3, Comparing Ordering and Patterns with Numbers to 120. We're going to begin by doing a warm-up using the counting tape to compare and order numbers. So I'm going to come up with two numbers, and notice we're only going up to the numbers 40 because this is like a little review. So I'm going to take the number 27 and the number 16. In order to use a counting tape or part of a 100 chart, what you want to do is first identify the numbers that you're comparing. So to identify them, I'm going to circle them. So I'm going to circle 27 and 16. And the way we use the number tape to compare is that we look at the number tape as our typical counting forward by ones pattern, because that's what this is. It's just showing us counting forwards by ones. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So when I'm counting by ones, the number 16 comes before the number 27. So we would say 16 is less than 27. If it comes before another number, it is less than that number. And we would say 27 is greater than 16, which means 27 comes after 16 when you're counting forward by ones. So that's how you use a counting tape in order to compare numbers. So you find the numbers and you figure out, is it coming before the other number or is it coming after? So let's move on to the next part of our activity. In this activity, we're going to use a number line to count and compare numbers. So when we use a number line to count, you can either count forwards or count backwards. So an example would be counting from 0 to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Or you could count backwards. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. So when we use a number line, we can count. We can count with ones. We can have number lines that count by fives or by tens or pretty much by any number. But in this one, we're just counting by ones. But we can also use a number line to compare, just like we use the counting tape. So we're going to compare two numbers. So let's compare 2 and 6. So if I have 2 and 6, when I'm counting forwards, the 2 comes before the 6. So we would say 2 is less than 6. Or we would say 6 is greater than 2 because it comes after the 2. We could also use, I'm going to change our number line so it looks a little different. We're going to have a number line that is counting by fives. So we're just skip counting by fives. So help me do that. Let's practice that. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. Now let's compare two numbers. How about 30 and 10? So when you look at the number line, which one comes first? That's right, 10 comes first. So 10 is less than 30, or we could say 30 is greater than 10. Let's change our number line again. This time our number line is counting by what? What are we counting by here? That's right, we're counting by 10. So let's practice that. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Perfect. Let's compare some numbers. How about 100? And, whoops, that didn't move. And 40. So which is less? That's right. 40 is less than 100 because it becomes before 100 in our counting pattern. Great. So we would say 100 is greater than 40. Perfect. Let's go on to the next one. This is my favorite way to compare big numbers. I love to use the base 10 blocks. And remember, you have access to these in the virtual manipulatives. But I just love, love, love to compare numbers using the base 10 blocks. And we're going to be using our symbols as well. So let's build some numbers here. I have 3 10s, 4 1s. What number is that? Right, 34. Let's build another number. 2 10s and 7 1s makes 27. Now, when you're comparing numbers with these base 10 blocks, I always find it easier to compare if they're lined up. So I click the line up button and it becomes really clear. I'm looking at the 10s. Which one has more 10s? That's right, 34. So I'm going to have you make a prediction. Is 34 greater than 27? Is it less than 27? Or is it equal to 27? Greater than, equal to, or less than 27? What do you think? If you chose greater than, let's find out if you were right. We got it! It is greater than. And the way I remember greater than is if the mouth is facing toward the number, which it does, that means it's greater than. If the mouth is facing away from the number, that first number, it's less than. So let's do another comparison. I just love, love, love to use these base 10 blocks. I hope you're finding them helpful in the virtual manipulatives. So I have 5 10s and 2 1s, which makes the number 52. I have 6 10s and 5 1s, which makes the number 65. Again, I'm going to line them up because I find that easiest. It's so clear to me that this has more 10s. So how would I say that? 52 is greater than 65, 52 is equal to 65, or 52 is less than 65. I'm going to give you a minute to think about that. Greater than, equal to, or less than. What did you come up with? I think it's less than. Notice how the point is pointing to the smaller number. Let's check and see if I was right. I was! Yay me! I hope it was yay you too. Let's do another comparison. Should we do a nice big number? What? I have 8 10s and 1 1. I'm just doing lots of 10s. 9 10s and 9 1s. So I have 81 and 99. I'm going to line them up. So which one has more? Can you tell by looking? All right. So let's decide. 81 is greater than, 81 is greater than 99. 81 is equal to 99. Or 81 is less than 99. What do you think it is? Remember, 81's up here, 99's down here. 81 is greater than 99. 81 is equal to 99. Or 81 is less than 99. What do you think? I think it's less than because this has fewer 10s than this one. Shall we check it? I got it! Yay me! Let's do another one. 2 tens, 3 ones, 3 tens, 2 ones. So I have 23 and 32. So line them up. Is 23 greater than 32, equal to 32, or less than 32? Well, they have the same number, so they have to be equal. Let's check. Oh, wait a second. That's right. They have a different number of tens and ones. So they're not equal, are they? 23. Oh, yeah, this one has more tens, so this one is smaller. So if it's smaller, I say less than. Do you think I got it? Is 23 less than 32? Let's check. Yay! I got it that time. I bet you didn't make that silly mistake I made. I know you guys, you're really strong on this stuff. Okay, now for a challenge. Let's make a big number. We're going to use 100. How about 200? Whoa! 200, 110, 3 ones, so we have 213. Wow, that's a big number. Let me do 100, 4 tens, and 1 1. 100, 4 tens, and 1. So that's 141. It's kind of hard to compare these big numbers, so let's look at it. So I always want to start with my biggest group, which is the hundreds. Oh, this one has more hundreds. So if it has more, what does that mean? 213 is greater than 141. 213 is equal to 141. Well, they're not equal. They're not the same, right? Or 213 is less than. It has fewer. Oh, it definitely has more. I'm going to check it. Do you think I've got it right? Yay! I got that big doozy of a problem right. Good for us. Let's move on to the next one. Now we're going to compare numbers when the tens are equal. So that means they have the same number of tens. So let's come up with a couple of problems that have the same number of tens. So how about 52 and 59? So I'm going to model that using my base 10 blocks. So how many tens will I need? That's right, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then ones. How many ones? That's right, 2 of them. 1, 2. And in the number 59, I also have 5 tens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I have how many ones? 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So when I compare these two numbers, I always look to the greatest column. So if I have tens and ones, what is greater, tens or ones? That's right, tens are greater. So I always start with the tens, and I look at the tens. And what I notice is these two have the same number of tens. So that means I don't have to look at that part anymore. I just need to look at the ones. So when I look at the ones, I say, well, is 2 greater or is 9 greater? And you look at it. Which one's greater? Which is a bigger group? That's right, the 9s are a bigger group. So we would say 59 is greater than 52, or we could say 52 is less than 59. So that's how we compare numbers when they have the same number of tens, or the number of tens is what we call equal. So let's find out what our problem of the lesson is today. Jacob has 98 stamps. Mariah has 59 stamps. Louise has 71 stamps. Who has the most stamps? Who has the fewest stamps? Write the number of stamps in order from greatest to least. So let's start with Jacob. Jacob has 98 stamps. So we're going to record that right here in the place value chart. 98 stamps. Do you remember how many Mariah had? Mariah has 59 stamps. So we're going to record that right here. And Louise has 71 stamps. We're going to record that right here. So in order to compare them, I always like to use models. Models just make my job so much easier. So I'm going to model these numbers with my own tens and ones. So in the number 98, there are 9 tens. So let's record 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And we have 8 ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And in the number 59, we have 5 tens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we have 9 ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And in the number 71, we have 7 tens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we have 1 10. So now we're going to answer the question, has the most stamps. Who has the most? Jacob, Mariah, or Louise? When looking at them, I always look at the tens first. Who clearly has the most tens? That's right, Jacob has the most tens. So Jacob has the most stamps. The second question says, who has the fewest stamps? Has the fewest stamps. So again, I always begin by looking at the tens. Who has the least number of tens? That's right, Mariah. So Mariah has the fewest, or you could say the least, number of stamps. So Mariah has the least, or the fewest. Jacob has the most. Do you remember the last part of the question? The last part of the question said, write the number of stamps in order from greatest to least. So how would we write that from greatest to least? So we know who has the most. That would be the greatest. Do you remember? That's right, Jacob. So we're writing the number. How many does Jacob have? Jacob has 98, so he has the most, 98. What is the next least number? We're going from greatest to least. So what would come next? 59 or 71? That's right, 71. If you look at that, the most tens, the next most, and then the least. So the least number is 59. So we've put our numbers in order from greatest to least. Should we check our answer? Looks like we did everything correctly. Good job, guys. Way to work together. In the next one, we're going to compare numbers using the less than, greater than, and equal to symbols. So let's build some numbers. We're going to build a number here with our tens and our ones. I hope you like using your base 10 blocks because I find them very helpful when working with double-digit numbers. So I have a number here, and I'm going to put a number over here. So what number do I have here? How many tens do I have? That's right, I have 4. And how many ones do I have? 1. How many tens do I have here? That's right, 4. And how many ones? Right. So 41 is 41. Is that less than, greater than, or equal to? 41 is 41. 41 is equal to 41. Did you get that one correct? Good for you. Okay, let's try some other numbers. Okay, so what number do I have here? How many tens do I have? Help me count them. 1, 2, 3, 4 tens. And how many ones? 1, 2, 3. What number is that? What number is that? That's right, 43. And how many tens do we have here? Help me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tens. And how many ones? 1, 2. And what number is that? That's right, 52. So 43 is 52. Is 43 less than 52? Is 43 greater than 52? Or is 43 equal to 52? So is this number smaller than this number? Is it less? Is 4 less than 5? Yes, it is. So we would say 43 is less than 52. Should we try another set of numbers? All right, let's try some different numbers. All right, let's count them. Help me count the tens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we have 7 tens. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ones. So that makes the number 75. And how many tens do we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tens. And 1, 2, 3 ones. So we have the number 63. So 75 is then 63. So we always begin by looking at the tens. Are these tens less or more than these tens? Is 7 greater or less than 6? That's right, 7 is greater than. So we would say 75 is greater than 73. So using these base 10 blocks is very helpful when comparing numbers.